For today's China smartphone market, what we see is the increased usage of bigger screen smartphone, which is, I will consider any screen more than 5 inches, between 5 inches to 7 inch is considered as a big screen size phone in China. In 2013, it's more than 20% of the smartphone is on that category. And we do see that it continues to increase. And the reason for it, I would say, is for a few reasons. Number one, there is a high proportion of young generation Y and X. So the way they use smartphone is different. Like the percentage of using voice in the smartphone is a lot smaller or little. And then they tend to use text more, watch video, playing games, or even buy things over the smartphone. So naturally, they like to use a bigger screen size phone. It's easier for them to use. Now, the second thing also is, if you look at the China market, there is a difference in terms of using different devices compared to the Tier 1, Tier 3 city with the Tier 4 and Tier 6 city. The Tier 1 and Tier 3 city, which is quite similar to a mature market like US or Hong Kong, in general, our statistics show that there's about 1.7 devices per user in the Tier 1 and Tier 3 city, meaning that you will use a computer for compute purposes, use a phone for the voice or the phone purposes. So you can choose a different type of phone you want, but there is also a main portion of the population in Tier 4 and Tier 6 city, they only have one devices. Now, when you only have one choice of your devices, phone is important because that is really your day-to-day connections. And naturally, they pick a bigger screen size phone to use. So there is an increase in importance to use a bigger screen size phone for the lower tier cities. And then for the third reason, we also see that the local manufacturer, the local brand, they like to provide more variety of bigger screen size phone with affordable pricing. If you compare the price with the local brand compared with the multinational brand, the price will be half of it. So which is more affordable with a bigger screen size phone. Is again, naturally, people tend to pick for the bigger screen size phone. First of all, definitely the customer base for Apple is there, so that we are expecting a replacement market for the existing Apple user. Now they can use a bigger screen size phone. And at the same time, we also confirm that people really like to use a bigger screen size phone, regardless whether it's a mature market or emerging market. So there is a need, and there is also confirmed that the usage patterns of smartphone is not the same as the past. The people use it more for the digitals than the voice. We start to need to understand the change of using a phone. Think about in the past, we may use letter, we write letter. Well, we use email. So we use voice in the phone. Now, the phone is not about voice. When the usage of voice becomes secondary function of a smartphone, think about then what you make the phone more useful for the user. You need to have a very good resolution of the screen, a good camera, taxation systems, or even like something can help you to learn and use the phone. Now, what I'm really trying to say is that voice is not going to be the primary reason for the user to choose a phone. The primary reason to choose a phone will be, how can I use my taxation system better? How can I buy things over the mobile phone easier? Or even like, how can I communicate with people sending video easier? So it needs to be higher in terms of compute power than the voice power.